oh yeah, my identity, I mean, I still identify as a patriot. But then at the same time, all of a sudden, I was always the good kid. I was always the one that got straight A's, and my parents were so proud, and I went to terrific schools, and I speak foreign languages, and everything was all hunky-dory. I'm a convicted felon now. And not just a convicted felon, but a convicted felon with a national security conviction. So for a long time, it fucked with my identity. And it took me years to embrace the whole whistleblower identity. One of my lawyers specializes in whistleblower cases, specifically in national security. And I thanked her for taking my case. And I said, I really want to thank you because I know that you only deal with whistleblowers, and I'm not a whistleblower. She said, yeah, you are. I said, no, I'm not. I'm just a normal guy, who said something. And she says, John, you're the poster boy for whistleblowers. And I looked at her like, I'm just not getting it. And she said, look, there's a legal definition of whistleblowing. It's bringing to light any evidence of waste, fraud, abuse, illegality, or threats to the public health or public safety. And that is exactly what you did. And so I embraced it. And you know what? It's worked for me. Yeah.
So, your first day of prison, FCI Loretto in Pennsylvania.
Central Pennsylvania, up in the mountains, in the middle of nowhere. The judge ordered that I serve in a minimum security work camp. No bars on the windows. They don't lock the doors. You're free to just come and go as you please. You're on your honor not to abscond. And most of those guys work in town. There's a small university down there. They do janitorial stuff, whatever. So it's weird. On the day that you're supposed to surrender, you just drive up to the prison and knock on the door and say, I'm John Kiriakou, I'm here to turn myself in. And they're like, okay, come on in. So I go to the prison camp, and the guy says, oh, you got to go across the street to the prison, and then they process you, and then they bring you back here. I said, okay. So I go across the street. I said, I'm here to turn myself in. They put me through the metal detector and such. And then the cop starts to lead me around to the back of the actual prison. I said, no, I'm supposed to be at the camp across the street. He goes, not according to my paperwork, you're not. And I was like, oh my God, take it easy. There's nothing you can do. If you make a fuss, they're going to put you in solitary. So I didn't say a word. It took me 5 days to get access to a phone. And I called my attorney. And I said, hey, they put me in the actual prison with the pedophiles and the mafia dons and the drug kingpins. What do I do? And he goes, oh my God. He says, well, we could make a motion, but it'll be 2 years before we get a hearing date and you'll be home by then. He said, I'm sorry, buddy. You're just going to have to tough it out. So I was like, okay, I'm trained for worse than this. I can do this. Just relax, stay calm. So on that very first day, they take your picture, they make a little badge for you, and then they give you like a bath towel, a face towel, a washcloth, a bar soap, a little thing of shampoo, and a roll of toilet paper, and the sheets. And you're walking, holding your stuff. The only thing this cop said to me was, if somebody comes into your cell uninvited, that's an act of aggression. I was like, great. I've been here 40 minutes, I'm gonna get my ass kicked now.